Let's review the general policy information. So we're going to review the most important information that's on the file, the customer's file. Let's start off with the search option. So you're searching for a certain customer. Type in the information that you have. So in this case, let me use the Hawksoft ID. Matter of fact, let me use the address. So 4926 Oregon Avenue. So don't type in the actual city and the zip code. You don't need it. You could stretch the information, the name, so you could actually have the full name, so you could confirm that it's the actual client. And if there's multiple files under the same customer, you may have to actually log into each one and confirm the information to determine that you are reviewing the correct one. So for Martha, there's only one. So let me double click on Martha. It's going to open up the file, and it's going to show if there's any flags or any alerts, then you definitely need to review them. Some of them may be old flags, and others may be new flags. So you could always open them, or if you dismiss it, you're going to have them here. The flags are technically the ones that are highlighted in red. So as soon as you open up the actual file, you're going to have to confirm which auto is the correct one. Now there's 4 different autos for this file. That means the client had 4 different policies. The most recent policy is always going to be the highest number, so auto 4. Auto 1 is the first policy, which is a policy that was processed back in 2017. So this client has had a policy with us for a couple years. So what you're going to have to do is select the auto 4, which is the most recent one, and ask the client if the policy that you have opened, which is a policy for a 2007 Lincoln, is the correct one. So I would ask the customer, Martha, are you making a payment? If they're making a payment, or if they're making changes, are you making a payment or you're making changes to the policy for the 2007 Lincoln? If they say yes, then you continue. If they say no, then you're going to select the following autos to see if there's a different vehicle, and you're going to ask them. So for example, auto 1, even though we know this is an old file, but it has a different vehicle, so you would ask them, is it for the 2007 Lincoln or is it for the 2003 Buick? And then they're going to confirm the right one. Either way, you're still going to have to log into the website to make sure that you have the right policy, but at least you're choosing the right auto. After confirming the right auto, then you have an opportunity to review the rest of the information. So let's review the general policy information. The policyholder's name, full name is here, and then you have the address, the phone number is here, the office that processed the application, which is LA1, and then producer, this is the agent. So it was LA4, agent LA4 processed the most recent application. So once again, under the name insured, you have the most important information, which is the name of the policyholder, the address, the phone number, the office, the agent, and then also if you see customer ID on the top, that's the customer, the Hawksoft ID. So if you have this number, it makes it easier to find the client because it's this number specifically for the client. So it's not the policy number, this is a Hawksoft ID number. So the customer could have 4 or 5 different policies, but all of them are going to be connected under this customer ID number. Now, if we look, this is the top part of the file. If we look towards the middle, we're going to have more information such as the company, the insurance company that we offered. You're going to have the agent code. Sometimes you're going to need this information, especially if we're going to call the customer. Sorry, if we're going to call the company, they're going to always ask us for the producer code or agent code, which is this. So once again, the company's there. The agent code is there. Then we have the policy number. We have the source, technically the source of the new business. So this is a rewrite simply because they had a few other policies in the past. And then once again, you see the office that processed the application. Now, towards the middle section, you're going to have the term of the policy. So this is a 12-month term. There's possibly a few policies that are 3-month, or a lot of them could be a 6-month or a 12-month policy. So you're going to see the term here. Technically, every 6 months or every 12 months, the policy is going to renew. Now you have the effective date. This is the date that the policy, that the coverage started. So 7/26/2019. And then towards the bottom, inception date and sold date are technically the same. Inception date is when the policy was processed, not when the policy took effect. So not when coverage started, but this is when the policy was processed. And sold date is the same thing as inception date. Now, if we look into these middle tabs under general policy information, you're going to see the vehicle. So if you click on the vehicle, and some policies may have multiple vehicles, but let's look at this one, for instance. So you're going to see the information of the vehicle. So the year, make, and model. So 2007 Lincoln Town. You'll have the VIN number, and then towards the right side, you're going to have all the coverages that were processed. So technically, this policy only offers 15, 30, and 5, which is a basic liability. Now, you could also select the name. Select the name of the driver. So these are the drivers on the policy. So you have Martha and you have Antonio. Now for Martha, you have the opportunity of viewing all the details of the driver. So the full name, first, middle, and last name, marital status, the gender, the relationship to the insured. She's the insured or the policyholder, the date of birth, and the driver's license number. Now, in this case, this is an international driver's license because there's no California, there's no license. So this is an international, an ID or a matricula, and it also shows if there's an SR22. So you have all the details of the driver. So let's go to the next one, to Antonio. Antonio does have a California license. As you can see, license state, it has California, versus Martha, it doesn't have anything. So Antonio has a California license. That's his date of birth. He's the spouse. That's the relationship. So he's Martha's spouse, male, married, his full name. So let me open up another file. So this file has more vehicles. So if you if you click each vehicle, it's going to give you the information, year, make, and model, the VIN number, and then it's going to give you the coverages. So this one has liability as well. This one has full coverage simply because the liability is 15, 30, and 5, and then it has comprehensive and collision. And this one has liability. So it gives you all the information of the vehicle's information and the driver's information. Now, let me show you this other file. If there's a name of a driver, but it's crossed, it has a little cross or a little line technically crossing the name, that technically means that the driver is an excluded driver. And if you look at the difference, a driver that's not excluded is going to have their license number or ID number, and then anyone that's excluded, not only are they going to have a red line across the name, but also within the driver's license, you're going to have the word excluded, and most likely under operator status, you're also going to have excluded. So that technically means that the driver is excluded from the policy. They don't have any coverage. There's no coverage if they drive the vehicle. So once again, quick summary, the general policy information, it allows you to view all the information of the policyholder, the vehicle, the driver, and also the company's information, such as the name of the company, the agent code, the policy number, and also the information as far as the effective date, the source of the policy, and the agent and the office that processed the application. So once again, on the top, under customer ID, you have the customer ID, the Hawksoft ID. And then you have the policy holder's information, the name, last name, address, phone number, the office that processed the application, and the agent. Towards the middle section, you're going to have the insurance company's name, our agent code. So just in case we call them, we have the agent code. The agent that processed the application, which is LA4, you also have it on the top, but you have it here. You have the policy number, so you could always confirm to make sure that the policy number is accurate. Then you're going to have the source, what type of policy was it. So if you go to the first one here, you see that it was a marketing today, and then after it became the second time that we processed it, it became a rewrite because they already had a policy with us. And then you have the effective date when the policy started, the inception date and sold date, which is the date when the policy was processed. And then you'll have the vehicle and driver's information. So you select the actual car or the driver, and then it gives you the information of the vehicle, your make and model, VIN number, and the coverages. Or if you select the name of a driver, it gives you the details of the driver, such as the full name, marital status, gender, the relationship to the insured, to the policyholder, the date of birth, and the license, what type of customer. This one, there's no license number or no ID number, so most likely it's international. It's an international. But if we go to a different file, if they have a license, it's going to show there. And then also it gives you the chance of reviewing any drivers that are excluded by selecting the name of a driver that has a red line crossing across the name. And it gives you the date of birth, the relationship of the driver.